smart enough. I'm not big enough. I'm not the right color. This is not right. This is okay.
A lot of chatter. Yeah.
Right. So, mind and the ego will take you down the alley. I can't do it. When one focuses in the heart all the time and lets go, that's total enlightenment. Now, somebody had to go to jail for that.
Wow. Now, this is a great story here.
You want the whole story?
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you don't think they don't have it? Oh, boy.
How old are they?
16, 17.
Okay, so Alan Gompers, extraordinary human being. If he were to sell this bag, this table, you name it, an item, in 1 year, he would be the biggest bag salesman because he marries. He marries what he does. He lives it, he eats it, he sleeps it, he drinks it. And plus he's a little guy, so he has a little bit of the Napoleon complex. One tough son of a bitch. One tough son of a bitch. I was a street fighter, but that's another story for another time. So Alan puts together 105 salesmen in 5 major cities in New York. New York being one of them. And while everybody was holding the stock, he was selling it off. He was selling it off at the tune of $11,000 a day. I was making $1,000 a week. There were guys making $4,000. They churned. I didn't churn. I didn't have to churn. I was such a good salesman that I bring in fresh people, and I was lazy. I didn't want to do the arithmetic. So Alan gets stealing $11,000 a day for almost 2.5 years.
Wow.
Okay. The big it's in his book. He wrote a book. It's in his book. They want to make a movie.
Wow.
So
Gompers, Gompers.
from the Gompers, the famous Gompers. Okay. I'd love to get him to come and talk. I'll finish my story.
Yeah, right.
If it's possible, I'll do it. I'll arrange it. I'm a little bit of a miracle worker, and God lets me do that.
Sure.
Okay. So now, 105, and what characters, what wonderful people. They were all school teachers. Hey, a little side story. At that time, 1973, school teachers were making $23,000. Okay. So now they're making $80,000, $100,000. And the wives, I love this classic, the wives, but what good is it? I never see you. For the guy, hey, you demand, what is it? You demand the money for the house, the kids. I'm producing it. You never see me. What do you want? Okay. All right. So that ends. Alan goes and puts together about 40 salesmen in a real estate deal. Because he was an entrepreneur. He was, what's the word? A merchandiser. There's another word though. He just was great.
Impresario. He could pull things together.
Big time. Wow. Big time.
Build a team.
Right. Then he opens up a club in Westchester. And he took the local hero, this guy Zooks, Johnny Zuko or something like that, and he called to play Zooks. He called me up because he saw what you saw in the aliveness.
A little spark.
Yeah, the aliveness. And he said, I need a maitre d', I want you. I said, sure.
Oh, you'd be good.
So I go in. Now you had Westchester is the highest tax area in the country, even more than Beverly Hills.
Right.
And you had all these mafia guys, okay? But they didn't come in. Their sons came in. And this was the time when coke everybody was doing coke.
Right.
70s, 80s.
Right.
And
so money was flowing.
Yeah, it was an excellent time, economy-wise. Good point, excellent point. So they would say to me, we want a platter, we want you to make it. Like, it was like a challenge, like, hey, I'm an artist. And they didn't know that. I am an artist.
Oh, cool.
And a musician, and half-assed, but my heart's there. And so I put, how hard is it to twirl a salami and put a tomato and a little garnish, and then they would
You balance it, you make it symmetrical.
Exactly. So,
Pay
and
attention to
and
detail.
because they were so high on the coke, they'd only eat half. So I would take it, redo it, and give it to the bartenders. They were happy, they were happy. Alan gets busted. Oh, wait. So they said to me one day, sit down. I sit down, they pull out remember the old East Side Manila bags that the old ladies used to carry? They pull out a bag like that, pour the Coke on the table. I said, wait a minute. They said, don't worry, they own the town. Don't worry about it. Okay?
So you have this it looks like sugar, I guess.
Yes.
Wow.
They say, take as much as you want, pay us when you sell it. Now, I could have taken an ounce, 2 ounces. They wouldn't have known. They said, Alan said you're as good as gold, and we could take you to the bank.
Okay.
So I know who I'm talking to. Yeah. So I say to them, I'm very flattered.
Right.
I'm very flattered. I just can't do this.
No.
But thank you. Thank you so much. Alan gets busted for being the biggest Coke salesman. He had 23 salesmen selling cocaine. The DA